Hi, this is Cindy from Vintage to New with a little skill tutorial. We've all seen what a serger can do. It keeps the edges from fraying and it sews the seam. Not all of us have a serger. So what we're going to do today is a skill that in my patterns I talk about using a zigzag to overcast the seam. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew a 3/8 inch seam all the way down my seam. Alright, so that's pretty straightforward. Now if I were to leave this, it's gonna fray. See how the little strings start, and once you wash it, it gets really bad. And that doesn't give you a good professional look. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my scissors, I'm gonna trim that seam down to about 1/4 inch. Alright? So wherever I want to overcast the seam, trim it down to about 1/4 inch. All right, put it in your machine, set it to zigzag. Now on your machine, somehow or other, on your machine you can say I want to have no zigzag, a little tiny zigzag, or something much wider. And then somewhere on your machine you can determine what stitch length you want. So I want to have a stitch length that's not super long, so kind of in the middle or a little below middle, and I want a fairly wide zigzag width. And then when I zigzag, I want the needle to go off the edge. Okay, so when it comes on this side, it's going off the edge and then going back on. All right? And the reason I want it to go off the edge, that's the way a serger works. That thread is going off the edge and catching all of those raw edges. So what I'm doing is overcasting that seam. All right, let's see what that looks like. You see how that's overcast? That the top of the zigzag went off the edge and then I caught it in the seam allowance. Okay, so when I say to overcast an edge with a zigzag, if you don't have a serger, that's what that means. So thanks for stopping by, and this was Cindy from Vintage to New.